Alright, so what we're doing is we're going to transfer our transactions that we worked on earlier into what we call journals. Now, so we're looking at what is our normal balances. Now, when we do a journal, we put it onto a journal form. We have our account title, so we'll be putting names in here, and then we're having debits and credits. Now, it's normal to put the debit side of the transaction first. So what we're looking to do is what is our debit transaction and what is our credit transaction. So when we look at our first transaction, I'll do the first one and then I'm going to get your help on the rest of these, is I've got my cash account. Now cash is my asset. Normal balance for cash is a debit. So I've got cash, debit 10,000, and I've got share capital. Normal balance for share capital is a credit, or equity is a credit. So I've got share capital here, and that's a credit of 10,000. And with journal entries, we put what's called a narration. So we have a third line, and issued shares for cash, which just is another description of the transaction. And what happens is when we're looking at our transaction list, it'll have a little piece of information here that says shares for cash. So when I go through my cash account, looking at all the transactions that go through it, I can see that this description, I get a good idea of what that $10,000 is all about. Yep?
Will we do that for every transaction?
Yeah, we will in this exercise, yeah. Now you don't need to do this in other, like in assessments. You won't need to write a narration, because I just think it's a bit of a waste of time. What I'm looking for is you to get the debit and credit right. But just for this demonstration we'll work on. Alright, so that's my transaction number one. Forgot to put the date in there. The date is 1st of the 10th. Okay, 1st of the 10th. Doesn't tell me what year, although this suggests it's 2010. Alright, let's have a look at our second transaction. My second transaction is I borrowed money from ANZ Bank. We know that it affected my asset cash and my liabilities, which is bank loan. So my first, so what's the date? Still the 1st of October, 1st of the 10th. And my debit transaction was an increase in cash, is cash again. So 10,000, oh no it's not, 5,000. 5,000. And my other side was bank loan. $5,000. And my narration is borrowed money from ANZ. And I put a line under it to indicate that's the end of my journal transaction. Okay, now I've done the first two. I need your help on the rest of these now. What is my journal entry for item number 3? Can someone tell me?
First is cash with a credit of 5,000.
Cash credit 5,000, and
then office equipment with a debit of 5,000.
Okay, office equipment debit 5,000. I agree, but what I'm going to do is I always put my debit transaction first, or debit side of my transaction first. So I'm going to do office equipment. What's the date first? 2nd of the 10th. Office equipment. For 5,000, and what's the other side? Cash, which is a decrease. So it's a decrease in cash, which is then therefore a credit. The normal balance for cash is debit. Decrease for cash is a credit. Excellent. And it's purchased office equipment for cash. And once again a line under it to indicate that I've completed my transaction. So what's, okay, so excellent. What's my next transaction? Transaction number 4. What's my journal entry that I need to post? Can someone help me?
Cash debited by 1,200.
Yep, and?
And revenue received, so what would it be? Would it be income?
No, not quite. It is a liability, but we'll call it revenue in advance.
Revenue in advance.
Yeah. Okay, so Alright, so we've got cash, which is an increase, so it's my debit balance, 1,200, and revenue in advance, $1,200. Customer pays in advance. Okay, is everyone okay with that? Everyone up to speed? Yep. Alright, cool. So that's transaction number 4. Let's flip the page over. We've got transaction number 5. Alright, so transaction number 5, which is, on the 3rd of October, we received 10,000 cash for services performed. What's my transaction? Or what's my journal entry, I should say, not my transaction. We'll pass that.
Debited by 10,000.
Cash debit 10,000, yep. And
repeat services performed.
yeah, remember from our chart of accounts? What's our chart of accounts tell us? What was our item that we picked up for chart of accounts for that transaction? So hang on, if I show you the transaction again, it was received 10,000 for services performed, and we put services performed under services revenue. So, which is an income account. Normal balance on my income account is a credit. So, services revenue. You could have just put revenue, which would be acceptable as well, and that's for 10,000. Performed work for cash. And we'll draw a line under that one, and that ticks off number 5. Alright, number 6, also on the 3rd of October, we paid rent in cash. What's my debit transaction and my credit transaction?
Rent debited by 900.
Yep.
Cash credited by 900.
So we have what's called rent expense. For 900, whoops, my journals. And we're decreasing our cash for 900 as well. And my narration is paid rent. Paid rent. So that takes care of that one. Is everyone okay with those 2 journals that we've done on page number 2? Or from page number 2? Yep. Alright, cool. Alright, let's move on. We're on to the 4th of October now. 4th of the 10th. Okay. Slide that over, get a bit more room. 4th of the 10th. What did we do on the 4th of the 10th? We paid cash for 1-year insurance policy. What's my debit and what's my credit?
Prepaid insurance.
Prepaid insurance, yep. Here's my debit.
And cash is the credit.
And cash is the credit. Excellent. So, and it's for how much? 600. So, increase and decreases in assets. Purchased insurance. We've purchased insurance. So that takes care of transaction number 7. Transaction number 8. We purchased advertising supplies on credit for 2,500. What's my debit and credit transaction?
Would it be advertising supplies debited 2,500?
Yep. Advertising supplies debit. What's my date first? 5th. Advertising supplies. And
Credited I mean, like, what is it, like,
Yeah? Liability called?
accounts, yeah, credit.
Accounts payable, yep. Accounts payable. Because we purchased on credit and it was for 2,500. So 2,500 is a debit to increase my assets and a credit to increase my liabilities. Purchased advertising supplies. Now, has anyone got any questions around transactions that are on page number 2? Or the transactions we've done on this page here? Nope. Alright, let's move on. Alright, transaction number 9. What's the journal entry we have to do? None. Excellent. Alright, so I can tick that one off as being completed. Transaction number 10, which is on the 20th of October. 20th of October. What is my debit and credit transaction? Or debit and credit journal entry?
Would it be dividends 500 debits and cash is a 500 credit?
Yes, it is. Exactly. Dividends is my debit of 500, and cash, because we paid it in cash, is a decrease of 500, which is a credit. So paid dividends I'll just make that look like a P. Paid dividends for $500. Alright, we've got one more transaction left, so I'm going to flip my page over. And my last transaction, which is we paid salaries of $4,000 on the 26th of October. 26th of the 10th. So what is my transaction here? Or what is my journal entry here? I keep on saying transaction, I should be saying journal entry. What's my journal entry?
Salaries, debit.
Yep. Salaries debit. And?
Cash, credit.
Cash credit, yep. So 4,000 here and 4,000 here. And it's paid salaries as a narration. And that would then be how we journalise our transactions for debits and credits.